स्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam thematic course. Yesterday we were discussing Suta Goswami's prayers, thanksgiving to the sages of Naimisharanya, Narayan Namaskrityam, Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jayam Udire. And then he begins to answer. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo, Yato Bhakti Radokshaje, Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasiditi. This is the answer to questions 1 and 2 of the sages of Naimisharanya, and the answer continues till verse number 22. So yesterday we discussed Prabhupada's commentary on this. Today we will discuss Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's commentary on this. Essentially, this verse is saying that the Paradharma is to practice bhakti, and bhakti begins with sadhana bhakti, specifically Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Yatho bhakti radokshaja means by which one can attain prema bhakti. So sadhana bhakti should lead to prema bhakti. So that's how Vishwanath Chakravarti was translated, and Prabhupada in his commentary makes it very clear that aparadharma refers to the pravritti marg and the nivritti marg. So the supreme occupation or the parodharma is practice bhakti, and then he gives the definition of pure devotional service. That's how Prabhupada explains that verse. So today, let us now see Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on this verse. Now, let me before once again go to the verse itself, because it's important that we thoroughly understand this commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Oh, sorry. The supreme dharma for all human beings. Supreme dharma is sadhana bhakti. That is savai pumsan parodharma. Is that by which prema bhakti to the Lord arises. Yato bhaktir adokshaje, which is not caused by anything other than itself. This bhakti, bhakti cannot be caused by any material thing. Bhakti itself causes bhakti. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti is going to prove in his commentary. And that's how the glory of bhakti is being established here. Cannot be obstructed, apratiyata, and which satisfies the mind completely. Yenatma suprasiti. So let us see. This verse answers the second question of the sages. What is the final essence of all scriptures? So as I mentioned, Prabhupada says this verse answers the first question. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur saying this verse answers the second question. And as I mentioned, it's not a reconciliation, because ultimately, what is the highest benefit for all humanity? It is to practice bhakti. So, what is the essence of all the scriptures? That all the scriptures prescribe bhakti. So that's how both questions 1 and 2 are answered, and that answer continues till verse 22 as mentioned. The essence is highest dharma for anyone who is a human being, pumsam, meaning hearing and chanting about the Lord. So you can see that uh, all people, all people can practice bhakti. Everyone has adhikar to practice bhakti. Whereas to practice dhyan, you need adhikar. You have to be sthita pragya. You have to be self-realized. And to practice Ashtanga also, Ashtanga yoga, you need adhikar. But anyone, be he a Shudra, be he the lowest of the lowest human beings, he can take up directly to bhakti if he attains the mercy of a pure devotee. So in that sense, anyone who is a human being uh, can hear and chant the glories of the Lord. That is the beauty of bhakti. And he proves it. It is said, Etavan eva lokesmin humsam dharma para smrita bhakti yogo bhagavati tan nama grahanadibi. That is the only means. Etavan eva. Eva means only. And here also in this verse, Save Pumsam Paro Dharma Bhaktir. Here also it is there. Save. Why means certainly, certainly. And here also it is Eva. For attainment of the final perfection of life, Dharma Para. So Para Dharma. Para Dharma is Prema Bhakti. Therefore, persons, Loke Asmin Pumsan, whose minds are fixed on the Lord, Smrita Bhagavati, engage in intensive practice of devotional service. Bhakti Yogo Tan Nama Grahanadi. So this is there in the Ajamil's pastime in the 6th canto also. So anyone who is a human being can chant and hear about the Lord. So this is proved by this verse by Vishnu Chakravarti. By this statement, the word para along with dharma in the present verse can indicate only the yoga. So paradharma is bhakti yoga only. Etavan eva indicates exclusion of other processes as paradharma. So eva means only this, and all others are excluded as paradharma. They will be aparadharma, like Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, or Karma Kanda, which is the Pravritti Marg. So there is exclusion of other processes. The essence of scripture is Bhakti Yoga, by which Prema Bhakti appears. Yatha Bhakti. So what is the essence of all the scriptures? Is Bhakti Yoga. And by practicing Sadhana Bhakti, Prema Bhakti appears. It arises without cause, ahetuki. Whether it is, beginning stages of Bhakti or the ends of Bhakti. The means is Sadhana Bhakti, the ends is Prema Bhakti. It is without any cause. So this is now what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is going to prove. Mixed bhakti is excluded in this definition since it has cause. So mixed bhakti or Mishra bhakti is excluded in this definition. So this definition, this verse 1 to 6 is the definition of pure devotional service. Because in mixed bhakti, there is a cause, like karma Mishra bhakti. The verse in the Bhagavad Gita is there. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna artho jigyasu artharti jnani cha bharatarshava. So when is very pious, because Prabhupada says only pious people, when they are put in distress, they come to God. Whereas those who are impious, when they are in distress, they don't take shelter of God, they take shelter of alcohol. So those who are pious, when they are put in distress, they come to God and they pray to God, please pray, please help me, please relieve me from this distress. And because they have a little faith and they've come to God, so they sit in the satsang, hear and chant. But ultimately, their purpose is that they should become relieved from the material distress. So this kind of bhakti, which is Mishra Bhakti, its cause is what? That ultimately they want relief from material distress. Whereas Shuddha Bhakti is causeless. It's without any cause, is ahetuki. That is why it is pure. It is pure. But you are really evading the truth here, saying that Prema Bhakti is not caused by Sadhana Bhakti. So here, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur itself, himself puts a Purva Paksha argument. He says, he presents other argument. Oh, you are evading the truth, saying that Prema Bhakti is not caused by Sadhana Bhakti. Prema Bhakti is caused by Sadhana Bhakti. And he proves that no, dharma consisting of hearing and chanting of the Lord is called Sadhana Bhakti. And in the mature stage, it is called Prema. So both, there is, both are Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is also Bhakti, which is causeless. Prema Bhakti is also Bhakti, which is causeless. But there is a little difference. Prema Bhakti is, like the ripened fruit. Sadhana Bhakti is like the unripe fruit. But both are fruits. It's only a different stage. Sadhana Bhakti is the beginning stage. Sadhya Bhakti is the end stage. So that's what Vishnu Chakra Thakur will prove. Both are called Bhakti. What is said? Bhaktya Sanjayataya Tya Vibrit Utfulakam Tanum. The devotee possesses a body with ecstatic symptoms by prema developed through sadhana bhakti. So bhaktya sanjayateyaya. Bhaktya means sadhana bhakti produces prema bhakti. So the cause of prema bhakti is what? Again sadhana bhakti only. Again sadhana bhakti. So bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya. In the verse being discussed, the former bhakti, parodharma, is the cause of the later type of bhakti, yato bhakti radokshajay, just as an unripe mango is the cause of ripe mango. So by this argument, bhakti is ahetuki is being proved. Considering one the cause of the other because of the difference in taste is simply a conception for understanding the different strengths of bhakti. Though sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti are not actually different things. So they are not two different things. They are the same. But only there is simply a conception for understanding the different strengths of bhakti. The strength of bhakti is more intense in prema bhakti, whereas the strength of bhakti is not so intense in sadhana bhakti. But both these bhaktis are pure bhakti. Now he gives an example. The various states of infancy, youth, and adulthood in one person are actually not conditions of cause and results of that cause, since the person remains. Since the person remains the same, it's only different stages. Now he gives the example. On the other hand, when pots, cloth, and cooked rice arise, the original names and forms of mud, thread, and raw rice disappear. So, what is the cause of the pot? The mud. The mud is the cause of the pot. So, when the pot manifests, there is no more the mud, right? Similarly, what is the cause of the cloth? It is a thread. So, when the threads are interwoven, then it produces the cloth. There is no more the thread. So, when the effect manifests, the cause disappears. There is cooked rice. When what is the cause of cooked rice? There is a raw rice. The raw rice is there, and then when the raw rice is cooked, the raw rice disappears and turns to cooked rice. So, sadhana bhakti is Shuddha bhakti, but when its strength increases into bhava bhakti or prema bhakti, that bhakti intensity increases. That's it. But it still is bhakti only. It doesn't change. Only there is a difference in the intensity and the strength. It is bhakti only. So that's what the point Vishnu Chakatakur made. One cannot compare these examples to bhakti and prema. So these examples are different compared to the examples of bhakti and prema. Paragraph 3. Also, one also not say that the famous cause of bhakti is association of devotees. For association of devotees is part of bhakti. So what is the cause of bhakti? Bhakti is ahetuki. That is now being established in paragraph 3. So the cause of bhakti is ahetuki. Now the cause of bhakti, if you say, is association of devotees, but one of the angas itself is sadhu sangha. Shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya, anarth nivritti, nishta ruchi, asakti bhav. So it is one of the stages of bhakti. So that's not the cause of bhakti. It is the second stage. It is understood from the statement Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajan Kriya Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. So Sadhu Sangha is the second stage, which is part of bhakti. So it's not the cause of bhakti. Famous cause of bhakti is association with deities. No. He is disproving that. What is the cause of bhakti? Association of devotees. No, association of devotees is the anga of bhakti. And later it will be said. So here, Sadhu Sangha, he gives the praman. Shushusho Shraddha Dhanasya Asudeva Kataruchi Swanmat Sevaya Vipraha Punyatirtha Nishevana Mahat Sevaya is Sadhu Sangha. O twice born Vipra, by serving the devotees, Swanmat Sevaya, who are completely free from all vice, Punyatirtha, great service is done, Nishevana. By such service, one gains affinity, Shushushu Shraddhadhanasya, for hearing the message of Vasudeva, Vasudeva Kataruchi. So here, this verse, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is mentioning to substantiate the point that Sadhu Sangha, by serving the devotees, is the anga of the. Now, he again takes another Purva Paksha argument. Such things as charities, vows, austerity, sacrifice, and selfless performance of duties are to some degree causes of bhakti in sattva guna, practice as an anga of jnana. So this is Mishra. So all these charity, vows, austerity, sacrifice, selfless performance duties based on whatever, they are causes of bhakti in sattva guna, which is Mishra bhakti. And these are all practices angan of jnana. But they are not causes of pure bhakti. These are not causes of pure bhakti. They are causes of Mishra bhakti, bhakti in Satugana, but they are not causes of Shuddha bhakti. Because it is said, now he says, Yamna yogena sankhena dana vrato tapo dvare vakya swadhyaya sannyase prapnuyat yatnavan api. Even though one engages in great endeavor, with great endeavor, yam yatnavan api, in the mystic yoga system, yogena, philosophical speculation, sankhena, charity, dan, vows, vrata, penances, tapo, ritualistic sacrifices, teaching of Vedic mantras to others, personal study of the Vedas, or the renounced order of life, sannyas, still one cannot achieve me. Na prapniya. So pure bhakti cannot be attained by yogena, sankhena, dana, vrata, tapa, or swadhyaya. To attain the Lord, one has to only attain by pure bhakti. So that is how he proves that these are not the causes of Shuddha Bhakti. To some degree, they are causes of Bhakti, which is Mishra, Bhakti which is mixed with the modes. Now, next argument. Nor can it even be said that the mercy of the Lord is the cause of pure Bhakti, for it is a non-final cause, making one search out a further cause. If you say that the mercy of the Lord is the cause of Bhakti, it is not a final cause. Why it is not a final cause? Anyone think about it? Raise your hands. Why mercy of the Lord is not the final cause of bhakti? Why it cannot be the final cause? What is the reason with you? Anyone? Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, just a guess, because that mercy also comes through devotee only. So in that sense, we can say.
So directly you can consider that the Lord gives mercy. Sometimes the Lord directly can bestow mercy. Directly can bestow mercy. So why that cannot be the cause of bhakti? Ashokatma Vasudev Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it is the sadhu sangha, through that the mercy of the devotees flow.
No. Please understand my question. What is the argument here? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur saying, see, bhakti can be directly given by the Lord. Shuddha bhakti. He can directly bestow. Then why it cannot be the final cause? Cannot be the final cause. Why it cannot be the final cause? Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I myself need to understand this, but is it that the cause of bhakti is bhakti only?
That already Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, but why? Sometimes the Lord can give mercy and bestow directly bhakti and directly prema also. But that cannot be the final cause, he's saying here. One has to search further. Why directly bhakti given by the Lord cannot be the final cause? That is my question. Tukaram Prabhuji, yes. Let us try to hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it once endure?
Pardon?
Is it once endure?
By one's own endeavor, one can get bhakti.
I mean,
None of us are here trying to understand the question what I'm asking. Here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, nor it can even be said that the mercy of the Lord is the cause of pure bhakti. Actually, the mercy of the Lord can be the cause of pure bhakti, because the Lord has bhakti in his heart and he can give bhakti to others. So then the principle of bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya is fulfilled. Bhakti, comes from bhakti. But why the mercy of the Lord cannot be, the final cause? And one has to search for further, answer, he's saying. Yes, Lakshmi Narasimha Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just a try. Vishwanath Chakravarti actually in Madhurya Kadambini, he explains that once you take this statement as true, then it means like the Lord is showing favoritism and the unqualified mercy actually doesn't fall on everyone.
Yes. So if you say that this is the cause of the mercy of the Lord, then the Lord is partial. He gives mercy to someone and he doesn't give mercy to someone. Yes. And no, the Lord is not partial. He is impartial to everyone. Then everyone should be practicing bhakti. But we see that everyone is not practicing bhakti. So that is why, for it is the non-final cause. That's what Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying here. And of course, Madhurya Kadamani, same discussion, Vishwanath Chakravarti does that. Correct. You are correct about it. I hope now the devotees are understanding. One cannot say that the Lord's mercy is absolute without further cause, for then it would mean that the Lord is unjust and prejudiced in choosing to give mercy without reason to certain individuals and not to others. The Lord is partial, He is doing partiality, you might say. However, if one says that the cause of bhakti is the mercy of the devotee, it is not so incorrect. It is not so incorrect, he says. Though the Uttama Bhaktas do not make distinctions and are thus not prejudiced, one does see that the Madhyama Bhakta makes distinction between the Lord, the devotee, the innocent, and the demon. So, Uttam Bhaktas also are like the Lord. They see everything equally. That's why they cannot bestow mercy. But the Madhyamas make distinction. The Madhyamas make distinction. Thus, because the Lord is dependent on the devotee, the Lord's mercy follows after the mercy of the devotee. That is the correct conclusion. So the Madhyama decides whom to give bhakti and whom to not to give, because he makes distinction. Oh, he is a demon. He should not be given because he is very much envious of the Lord. But he is innocent. So let me bestow my mercy on him. So the bhakti is there in the heart of the Madhyama. And that bhakti, that mercy, what is bestowing, that mercy is ultimately coming from the Lord only. But it is rooted to the via medium of a Madhyama Adhikari. That's why the Lord's mercy also follows the mercy of the devotee. So wherever the Madhyama goes, the Lord is behind him. The Lord's mercy is behind him. And it is the Madhyama who bestows bhakti. So he bestows bhakti to others. So other gets bhakti. But where did he get that bhakti? That he got it from the Madhyama. And where did that Madhyama's heart, there is bhakti. So from the heart of the Madhyama, it is transformed to the heart of the sadhaka. So that's why again this principle of bhaktya sanjayate, bhaktya is again fulfilled. And that's how bhakti is ahetuki. It's ahetuki. Just like a wood which is kindled with, it is set on fire. And that wood can light other woods on fire. But some woods, are wet and some wood is dry. So the wood which is lit on fire, that can come in contact with the wood which is dry, and coming in touch, that will catch fire, right? So similarly, the bhakti which is present in the heart of the Madhyamadikari, that bhakti gets transferred to the sadhaka, and that's how he also gets bhakti. And ultimately, the mercy what the sadhaka bestows, the Madhyama bestows, that mercy is also coming from the Lord. It is coming from the Lord, but it is rooted through the Madhyama. So that is the correct conclusion. Let me finish and then I'll take the questions. But then, how is bhakti said to be without cause in this verse? The cause of bhakti is the Madhyama. If you come to this conclusion, that bhakti comes from the Madhyamadikari, this is the correct conclusion is saying, then how is it without cause? Because the Lord's mercy is included in the mercy of the devotee, and because that mercy is included in association with devotees, and because devotee association is the anga bhakti, bhakti is said to be without cause, since an anga of bhakti causes. So when the mercy is bestowed by the Madhyama, that mercy, uh, uh, that bhakti which is there in the heart of the Madhyama, is instilled in the heart of the sadhaka, and that's how the criteria of bhakti being ahetuki, bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya, is fulfilled here. Moreover, the cause of the devotee's mercy is but the bhakti present in the heart of the devotee, because without that bhakti in his heart, there is no possibility of his mercy arising. Because that devotee has bhakti in his heart, and that's why he has mercy. In all ways, therefore, bhakti is the cause of bhaktya sanjayate, bhaktya is fulfilled. So bhakti is the cause of bhakti, and that's why bhakti is ahetuki. The cause is none other than bhakti itself. Bhakti itself is the cause of bhakti. Therefore, bhakti is said to be without cause. It is said to be without cause. From the viewpoint of bhakti, the devotee, bhakti, the Lord, and his mercy are not separate items. So these are not separate items. These are all, the devotee has bhakti in his heart, and the mercy in his heart is also the mercy, which is one of the quality of the Lord. The Lord is very merciful, and this quality is manifested in the heart of the Madhyama. So these are not separate items. Even though bhakti appears by bhakti, thus it is self-manifesting, it does not negate the fact that bhakti's self-manifesting nature comes from the Lord. Ultimately, it comes from the Lord only, but the Lord gives this not directly, but through the Madhyamadikari. His mercy flows with the Madhyamadikari. This is about the ahetuki nature of bhakti. Now, with respect to this, do we have any questions? Bhaktya sanjayate bhaktya. Bhakti is ahetuki. Of course, this subject is a little difficult for us to understand when we first time hear, but we should repeatedly hear and try to understand this and understand the glory of bhakti. Lakshmi Narasimhan Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just a reconciliation question. Where does
A little loudly?
Yeah. Can you hear now?
Little more loudly?
Is it audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, what is the role of faith here, Prabhuji? Like, there's a small confusion for me in that. So, the faith of the sadhaka who is going to start bhakti, how is that related with the occurrence of bhakti, with related to the devotee's mercy?
Okay, very nice, very interesting question. How is the faith here in the picture? Actually, that's why Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, we will come to the stages of bhakti from that Shushushu Shraddha Dhanasya. There it will become more clear that the Madhyamadhikaris, Krishna, ultimately is under the control of the Madhyamadhikaris. He can give bhakti to anyone and everyone out of his own discrimination. That is the independence Krishna gives to him. So the Madhyamadhikaris first bestow mercy, Satam Kripa. So just by their glance on someone, they bestow that mercy and the bhakti, let him also become a devotee. That mercy, what they bestow, Satam Kripa first happens. Satam Kripa. And because there is Satam Kripa, because this candidate has, got the mercy, he develops some faith in the sadhu. There is, and then he does Mahat Seva, does Seva of the sadhu. And when he does the Seva of the sadhu, he is inclined to hear from the sadhu. And what does the sadhu speak? He speaks only Krishna Katha, chant the holy names, hear Krishna Katha. So with this little mercy bestowed, he does sadhu seva, and he has developed some faith in the sadhu, and with that faith he hears. And that's what the verse says, Shushushu Shaddadhanasya. He has developed a little faith. And with that faith, he starts hearing, and that development of faith grows on increasing. When after a sufficient amount of hearing from the sadhu, then he develops a desire that I also should practice bhakti. And then he slowly takes up to practice of bhakti. So then there is a development of faith which happens gradually over a period of time. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Prabhuji, beautiful answer. Yeah, now it's clear.
Ravikant Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam. Prabhuji, my question is that Lord Mercy flows through the Madhyama Adhikari.
Yes.
And why not Uttama Adhikari? Because Madhyama Adhikari criteria is lower than the Uttama Adhikari. And
Very nice and interesting question. Actually, the Uttamadhikari's vision, they are very advanced in their consciousness. And they see what is the definition of Uttamadhikari. Bhagavad Bhava Atmana. They see everyone as devotee. Everyone is sheltered by the under Vishnu. So they cannot discriminate. And they themselves consider that they are not devotee. That is how advanced their level of consciousness is. So they cannot make any discrimination. And that is why the Uttamadhikaris have to come down to the Madhyama platform. Their vision has to be, Krishna has to break their vision so that they come to the Madhyama platform, and then they can distinguish. And they can, discriminate and bestow mercy. So there are two types of Madhyamadhikaris. One who are from the Kanishta, they go to the Madhyama, and they are also advanced and they also can bestow mercy. But there are the Mahabhagavats who are on the topmost level, and they also come down to the Madhyama platform because it is the Lord desire that he bestows mercy to the jivas. So their vision is broken by the Lord himself, so that they can come to the Madhyama platform and discriminate. And that's how they can bestow mercy. Now there is a difference between the Madhyama who is still a sadhaka and a Madhyama who is a siddha. who's coming down from the Uttama platform to the Madhyama platform. Both are bestowing mercy, but this Madhyama, who is a Mahabhagavat, is on a very high elevated level, and his purity in Krishna consciousness is very high. So that's the difference. But ultimately, that's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that only a Madhyamana can discriminate and decide to give mercy. So that is the correct conclusion. That's why he says. I hope it is clear.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's very understandable. It's very nice. And this.
Let's take the next question. Hold on. Virendra Yadav Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Just one clarification. Prabhu, with regard to Satam Kripa happens only when one comes in contact with devotees.
Correct.
So, Prabhu, coming in contact with devotees, is there any role of individuals' past activities in previous life? Is there any connection? Coming in contact with devotees.
Coming in contact with devotees, is it having any role from the previous lives? Now, there might be such role that in the previous life you have practiced bhakti, and in this life come in touch with some bhagavatas, and then your bhakti continues. You might still be in the development of state of Shraddha, and the mercy is bestowed, and then further practice. But what in the case if you are not come in contact with the devotees in the previous life, and you have no contact? So that is yadrichaya. The madhyamas or the very advanced devotees, they are free like the Lord, and they move anywhere and everywhere wherever they want, and they wherever they are wandering and they come in contact with someone, they might decide to give mercy. It's completely independent, left to them, and Krishna even doesn't interfere. This is one thing to be understood. Secondly, they can come in touch at a particular place by the divine will and arrangement of the Lord also, because it is Lord's desire. In the case of Parikshit Maharaj, who was sitting on the bank of Ganges to fast, and wondering by Lord's arrangement, Sukdev Goswami came. So ultimately, the Lord sees in the heart that somebody is searching for him. He's looking for him. He's looking for the real goal of life. Brahmande Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Tilata Beach. So he is looking for me. Krishna understands. And then Krishna, that sage is wandering somewhere, but Krishna might direct him in the heart. No, you go in the left direction, because there is someone who is looking for me. So that's how the roles are played by Guru and Krishna. And sometimes the Guru can act independently and bestow mercy, although there must be no previous qualification of the candidate also. It is completely the independent will of the devotee. So both cases can apply. I hope it is clear.
Right. So, Prabhu, Chaitya Guru is directing from inside, that we can say.
Yeah, in some cases, even if somebody has no adhikar and he is not having any inclination and search and quest also, but the Mahabhagavat, Yadrichaya, he is moving and he can give his causeless mercy and awaken that inquisitiveness and bestow that bhakti and mercy to him. It's completely causeless. Completely causeless.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? The more we understand this tattva and definition of pure devotion, and then we start practicing the better is the result, and that's why we should clearly understand what is being explained here. Yes, Ravikant Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, the result of the mercy is the bhakti only. Here, whatever is the explanation I
The
heard.
result of the mercy which the Madhyama bestows is because that mercy, that bhakti is residing in his heart. And one of the qualities one develops by practicing bhakti is kripa. This is one of the 26 qualities, right? Kripa. And these qualities which the devotee has are ultimately all the qualities which Krishna has, because the whatever qualities Krishna has, they manifest in the body of the devotee. So that's how the mercy actually is coming from the heart of this devotee. And that mercy is also coming from the Lord. Is it clear? Any other questions? I hope this explanation was clear how bhakti is ahetuki. Bhaktya sanjayate. Bhakti causes bhakti. Now he says this bhakti cannot be prevented by anything. Apratihata. Apratihata. So bhakti is completely independent of karma and jnana. If you do some pious activities and you say that this is the cause of bhakti, then karma is the cause of bhakti, but bhakti is caused by bhakti itself. So this type of Shuddha bhakti, not Mishra bhakti, please remember, is apratihata. It's apratihata. This is mentioned in the following verse. How it is apratihata? He gives a proof. Mad guna shruti matrena mai sarva guhashaya anorgatir avichinna yatha gangam vaso buddha. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean. Yatha gangam vaso ambudo, such devotional ecstasy. Mad guna shruti matrena. Uninterrupted by any material condition. Mano gatir avichanna, flows towards the Supreme Lord. Mai sarva guhashaya. So apratihata means if there are impressions in the subtle body, our consciousness is attracted to Maya. But this Shuddha Bhakti, the consciousness always goes towards Krishna. It always goes towards the Krishna. Just like the water of the Ganges, which emanates from Gomukh, it is flowing continuously towards the ocean. And nothing can stop it. The Ganges water, which starts from the Himalayas, it gushes out with a heavy force. And it is moving towards the Ganges ocean, but there might be rocks, there might be trees. So no external obstacles can stop the flow of the Ganga towards the ocean. Similarly, the Ganga water doesn't hold some water to herself. Let me hold and keep back. No, it pours out completely, everything. That's why it's coming with that force. So no internal obstacles nor external obstacles can, obstruct the flow of Ganga. Similarly, the consciousness which is flowing towards Krishna, if there are any external obstacles, that is not a barrier at all for such a person who is practicing Shuddha Bhakti. And neither the anarthas in the form of internal obstacles which take our consciousness away from Krishna is a barrier. That is why it is apratihata. It is apratihata. Sri Rupa Goswami has also said, now he gives the second Praman, Sarvata Dhamsa Rahita Satyapi Dhamsa Karena. Bhakti is without destruction, though it is the cause of destruction of obstacles. So this bhakti is a Shuddha bhakti. When it is awakened, that consciousness, it flows only towards Krishna, and it cannot be obstructed. If there are some obstructions, it will destroy all those obstacles. Now, this is a little difficult sometimes to understand, but I'll just give a movie example. This will make it more clear. Suppose there is a hero, and the villain has captured the heroine, and she is tied there with a rope in a house or in the forest somewhere to a tree. She's trying to, break the ropes, and the main villain, is standing in front of her, and the hero has love for the heroine, and that love is, of course, there is no unmotivated, pure love in this material world. I'm just giving an example. That love is just flowing of the hero towards the heroine. So he's just moving towards the heroine. But this villain sends out all his other, army people. And when he's moving towards the heroine, all these people keep on attacking, but he keeps on smashing everyone who is coming on the way completely, with his sword. He keeps on smashing, and everyone is killed, thrown hither and thither. And then ultimately there is a main villain. Even him, he destroys that obstacle and straight, cuts the ropes of the heroine, and they meet each other, unite with each other. Similarly is bhakti. Bhakti is without destruction, though it is the cause of destruction of obstacles. So all the obstacles, that this kind of Shuddha bhakti which emanates from the soul, it destroys all the anarthas within us. That is why one of the qualities of, remember please, Shuddha bhakti is kleshagni. It destroys all the obstacles, and it gives all the shubhadha. Shubhadha. Apratiyata can also mean that this prema bhakti is not contaminated by jnana or karma. So the bhakti becomes apratihata at a very advanced stage, not in the beginning stages. Because in the beginning stages, the anarthas are covering and our consciousness is going away from Krishna. So there are obstacles. But as the bhakti becomes Shuddha, then there is no karmavran nor jnanavran. By that bhakti, the mind, Atma, becomes completely satisfied. Su means completely. Prasidati, satisfied. Because of the impossibility of the mind being satisfied with the presence of material desires, it is evident that this bhakti being discussed is without material desires. So what is the definition of Shuddha Bhakti? Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. So this bhakti is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. If the mind, there are some desires, some vasanas in the subtle body, then although we are practicing bhakti, that bhakti is not Shuddha Bhakti because there are desires. But what is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam? No other desire than only one desire, that is to please the Lord. If we are acting on that platform, then only we are practicing Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. Otherwise, the Bhakti is Mishra Bhakti and it is not Shuddha Bhakti. So as you practice Bhakti and when it becomes Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti, then the anarthas are very quickly destroyed and then attain the sadhya very quickly. So that is the point. Okay. Any questions further on what we discussed up till now? Any questions, any clarifications? Question. Yes, Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is my understanding correct that Kunti Maharani, that prayers,
Yes,
1.8,
yes, correct,
142, is
correct.
saying, I like that shloka. So I just...
That is also the another verse which we can quote. Tvai me ananya vishaya. Tvai me ananya vishaya. Madhupate sakre. Ratin udvati adhya gangavegum udanvati. So that is also the exact verse which mentions that it is apratihata, nothing can stop. So actually, two verses are quoted in this context. One is the Kapil Shiksha verse and this verse of Kunti Marani, Tvai me ananya vishaya. So both verses are the correct proof that bhakti is unstoppable. It it is apratihata. Apratihata. So correct, you are correct about it. So I will just uh, refer that verse. It's very, very, very interesting verse. And this Kunti Maharani speaks, before this verse. Atha Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurti Swakeshu me Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. So Kunti Maharani is playing a role, but she's teaching us she's a pure devotee. You should remember that. She's having Sakshat Darshan of the Lord and she's glorifying the Lord. So she's here requesting, Krishna is going to leave now to Dwarka and she's feeling the separation. But then her heart is saying, Arey, Krishna, stay back. But if Krishna stays back, then the Dwarkavasis will, feel the pangs of separation from Krishna, being separated from Krishna. And within Dwarka, the Vrishnis were also related to Kunti. And Krishna has, Kunti is married to Pandu, and the sons of Pandus are there. So stay with my sons. So Kunti Maharani has relationship with both her sons and the relationship with the Vrishnis. But her attraction is towards uh, Krishna. So here Kunti Maharani is in a dilemma. Stay with the Pandus who are my sons, or if you go, then if you stay here, then the Vrishnis will feel separation from you. And they are also related to me. So she is thinking in a bodily concept how, the Vrishnis and the Pandus are connected. That's why Chindi, you cut this connection with the Pandus and the Vrishnis so that my consciousness flows only unto you. Tvai me ananya vishaya mati, my consciousness, my attention only flows towards you. Madhupate sakrip. Just like when when you pour the honey, the flow is continuous and it's not like water droplets where they can break. It is continuous. Let my mind only flow towards your lotus feet. Ratim udvatat atya. Ganga ogam udanvati. So this rati is also attraction and rati is also bhava. So only at the very advanced stage, I made this point again, that very advanced stage of sadhana bhakti, when sadhana bhakti is almost uh, fructifying into sadhya, that time the bhakti becomes, apratihata. That means there is no karma avaran or jnana avaran happening there. That's the point. Excellent. The understanding is correct. Okay, last question we will take up. Yes, Ravikant Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. My question was related to that only. At what stage pratihata starts actually in bhakti?
Yeah.
So that you have
See,
given.
one thing we have to clearly understand that Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti, there is something called a Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti, where there is no Mishran in it. The Mishra Sadhana Bhakti is, Bhakti means the 9 limbs, which we are practicing. And in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, these 9 limbs are expanded into form of 64 limbs. If you're always continuously doing these are like constitutional duties. These are constitutional duties. But at some point of the day, I feel that I have to maintain my body. For maintenance of my body, I do work. This is based on your sabhava. So based on your sabhava, to maintain your body, you're working. That time you're doing karma. You're doing karma. And that karma you are doing in a favorable way so that you can practice constitutional duties. And whatever karma you do, there is a phala. You get a phala. You do a job, you get a salary. Now that salary you're using for maintaining the temple at home, and you're also using for maintaining the temple where you get the inspiration to practice bhakti. So the karma is offered to the Lord. It is karma arpanam. So that portion is not practice of Shuddha Bhakti. So the more we do that, and we develop that complete faith that Krishna will maintain me, I need not work for my maintenance, then you come to the point of Sarva Dharman Parityajya. And then with that faith, now you have attained that pure faith. With that pure 100% faith, you have full faith that Krishna will take care of maintenance. I need not work for my maintenance. I practice now bhakti. At that stage, your bhakti is Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paryupasate Tesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam Yogakshema Vahamyam. Krishna takes up the yoga and shema of that devotee. So you have that faith. And then you have taken up to Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. And while practicing also now Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti, there are anarthas which act as obstacles, but they are not big obstacles in one sense, because your faith is very pure and you have purified the swabhava conditionings, which are in the form of pious and sinful activities. So they, with this practice of that Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti, the anarthas are very quickly destroyed, and then you attain advanced stages by which the obstructions, apratihata, is completely destroyed, and your consciousness only flows towards Krishna. That happens more in the ruchi and the asakti stages. I hope it is clear.
Yes, Prabhuji, very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Hare Krishna.